Hey everyone, this is your girl Shauna here with Visually Speaking, here with another podcast. I'm also here with my co-host.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Martin, back at it again.
And we are here with the lovelies.
All right, cool. The one and only Timothy Bentu. Hey, my baby.
Vincenta Bentu.
Thank you guys for being here with us today. We absolutely appreciate it.
Most does.
So tell me about yourself. First of all, how old are you guys?
We are, I am 32 and Tim is 34.
Yep. 34.
Today, he's going to tell y'all his real age today.
Today.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
It's usually 26 in the street, but yeah. So we telling
To the
everybody.
public.
26
Public,
in the
yeah.
street.
But they're going to
Gotcha.
find out your real age in a few, so.
If the Fed's watching, but okay.
That's only if we
34.
post that particular part of the clip.
Got you.
It's true.
That's when we post. If you decide to do this.
Cut that out.
Good part.
Look, and the little grandma, you better thank God that you get some more years.
You know what I'm saying? Look, I ain't
Absolutely.
making no noise. I ain't making no noise.
Yeah, that part.
Them old sayings.
And I love the active marketing you guys got going on with the jerseys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Love
branding is everything.
For
Like,
sure.
the biggest thing is, I find power in why building somebody else's brand when I can build my own.
Mm-hmm.
Why not wear something of myself that, saying, again, we created, we came up with. If we're going to promote something, wear that and make it a brand.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So tell me about your brand name, Epic Legacy.
Woo! Okay, we're
You
going
want
to
to
the
start from the
weeds.
beginning?
From the beginning.
The beginning.
All right,
Put
cool.
my popcorn at, bro.
Yes. So,
I do want to
go
set the
ahead.
disclaimer, though.
Go ahead, set the disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
That before this name came about,
Mm-hmm.
Tim was always a corporate
Mm-hmm.
guy. He always climbed the corporate ladder. For me, I always had an entrepreneur spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that eventually that would be my life, but I was in corporate, but that wasn't it for me. I knew there was something more. So now
Alright,
you
cool.
can.
So since you mentioned that,
Uh-huh.
who decided to step out onto the entrepreneurial field first?
I did.
And you brought him along.
Yes.
How long did it take for you to jump into it and then decide to bring him?
I was already an entrepreneur when we met.
Okay.
I was already owning my own business when we met. When we met, I was 22. You were 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little tenderoni.
You little tenderoni.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Sorry.
I'm gonna stop, man. That's stuff on camera now. Anyway,
Okay, wait. You are crazy.
But nah, she
But yes,
yeah.
so and then to bring him into entrepreneurship, he was always supportive
Yeah.
of as long as like I have a vision for myself. He was always supportive, but I guess he just didn't see it. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he just saw like his life as an entrepreneur or like what would I be doing as an entrepreneur.
Right.
So I would say it took about. We were on our second kid. It's 2018. About 4 years
Okay.
before he started going on the entrepreneur journey. Well, no, 3 years because you were kind of doing some stuff before.
You know me, I got the math for you. You know me, I know you got that girl math.
Yeah, this is girl math. It didn't take
Let's
2
talk about the
weeks.
history.
Yeah, it didn't take 2 weeks.
Nah. So
let's go into the history.
I'll start it off. So basically, again, I was always taught the things that we taught everybody. Like, how can I say this? I was always taught the things that you're taught growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go to school, get good grades, go get you a good job with some benefits, right? So the biggest thing for me was like, all right, cool. I'm running that right now. I came out of high school, went to the military, now in college, and when we met, we were in college. So it's like, I'm focusing on getting my degree so I can get a job. And then again, I was working like corporate jobs. I mean, kind of throwing boxes at FedEx or, saying things like that. So again, I'm making college moves. I wasn't really working like, big time deals.
In my mind, I'm like, we got to be a millionaire tomorrow.
Right.
And the job.
And so
Yeah.
how the name actually got started was, basically she was working in hospitality and she had won like a trip to Asheville. So one of the things I always tell people, like, if you ever been to Asheville, visit the Biltmore House, right? The to be honest, I never knew about the Biltmore House until we went.
I didn't.
Because we got free tickets to the Biltmore House, all stuff like that. And one of the biggest things when I went in there, all I could see was like legacy, like something that was built years ago, and they kids still eating off of that. Like
centuries.
And I mean the actual architect and the thoughts and the ideas and the memories that was made there, the money that was brought to them, and like I say, they family still eating off of that. So I'm like, this is like a definition of legacy right here, a visual definition of legacy. And I was like, I want to have a legacy, but I don't want my legacy to just be basic. You know what I'm saying? I was like, so we was thinking, we was going back and forth, and I was like, what about epic legacy? Like where we make your legacy epic. And she was like,
nice.
Okay, babe. All right.
That was September 2015.
Wow.
So
Nice.
boom. So and that's where the name actually came from.
Okay.
Now, going back to entrepreneurship, things of that nature, I would say that she was an entrepreneur first. What she was doing wasn't really my bag. I was there for supporting, but you know what I'm saying, like, all right, cool. It's not my thing. Because when I first created Epic Legacy, it was actually gonna be a party bus business.
Yes.
Really?
Like that's what I was. I'm like, shoot, we can make some epic parties, like, you know what I'm saying? It's about to be a party bus business. Again, I'm in college at the time, so everything party.
Everything party.
So I mean that's where it really started. That's where it goes. That's where my entrepreneurship, really kind of like, all right, let's start looking into some different things.
Right.
The biggest thing that really made me take it serious was in 2017.
For what?
For when I got terminated.
Oh yes, 2017.
So I had got terminated from a company. I did my previous employer was I worked security. But I was like a security manager, something like that. This and the third. The biggest thing for me was that I was working a security job, right? Operation manager with them, running all they properties, all of that stuff like that.
Yeah.
Really helping them build their business. Staying up late, running out here, running the street. Like I was over like
working
pretty much
24 hours sometimes.
365. Like I ran the whole northern or eastern North Carolina.
Okay.
So and then I just came in one day. It was actually on my daughter's birthday. Came in one day and they were just like, yeah, we gotta let you go.
On your daughter's birthday?
Oh, my dirty. They didn't care. They dirty. That's our job. Dirty. They dirty. They don't care.
Fired on your day off.
Oh, my day off.
On your day off.
On
That's
your day
crazy.
off, Craig.
And the crazy part, I pulled up my motorcycle. They was like, oh, you can't even put a box on this motorcycle, so they had to have somebody bring my stuff to the house. It was horrible. Anyway, so I'm like, this is bad. I'm like, I was like, and I ain't gonna lie, man, like that kind of was that stab or that push to be like, dang, bro, like this ain't gonna work out for you, because it already was kind of feeling like having to be somebody else to fit into that mold, whatever like that. But it was all right, cool. So I'm like, all right, well, never again. And so from that time period, and then a month after that, so then all right, so never again, just working a 9 to 5. A month after that, I got diagnosed with MS. Wow. So I was like, just, what I'm saying, just one hit after another. And like, it was just, for me, it was, from when I got diagnosed with MS, it was when I felt that life was no longer infinite. It was real finite. Like, cause because before, I could live forever. Ron got shot at, the military, I'm good. So, but when that happened, I'm like, oh man, so, I ain't gonna live forever. So I really need to start focusing and seeing what I want my life to really be like.
Wow. Okay.
So that's when I really started taking my entrepreneurship, very serious. And I mean, I still had to go get a job. I always tell people, build it the right way. Yeah. Don't just go straight into entrepreneurship, like, because then you put yourself in like you slave into your business, which I mean, still better than slaving a job, but still
just structure it right.
Structure it right. Get yourself structured so that way you don't have those struggles.
Right.
So how did you both meet to make Epic Legacy? Walk me through how y'all met.
Gotcha.
And how y'all decided to stay together.
You don't have a double-decker question. All right, cool.
Sorry.
It's cool. It's cool.
We met in college at North Carolina Central University.
The
The
North
best.
Carolina Central University.
Equal pride.
Yes, the best HBCU there is. Like, who else is there? Do you know?
I didn't even take a time to look.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool.
Anyway, don't know those other ones, but we went to the best one. So we met at an event. My friend was throwing an event. She was an RA. Tim was an RA, so they worked together. And I saw him. I was like, oh, he's kind of cute.
Oh, she was staring. She was staring. Don't try to be all humble about it. Oh, he's trying to cute. But she was staring. Well, all right, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, finish the story, man.
All the business, right?
I mean, just.
Well,
But the crazy thing is, he's not lying. So, I'm going to keep it real. He ain't lying. I thought he was very attractive. So, but I didn't think I was like looking at him like all of what he be talking about. So, anyways, after the event was done, we went downstairs and he was like talking to everybody, asking everybody their name. And I was like, you didn't ask me my name. Like, what's your?
How dare you?
You asked me talking to all these other people. Me, hello, here. He was like, what's your name?
You didn't hear it? You didn't hear his name, though? Did you hear his name?
I mean, she knew my name.
No, I knew his name, but he didn't ask me my name.
He didn't ask her.
What was going on, it was some females in the vicinity, right? So I was already talking to them. And you know what I'm saying, some other females walked in. I was like, oh, yo, what's your name? You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking, doing my thing.
Those girls, and then you got me. Like, what are you doing?
Then she out to the side. She out to the side, and then.
But he did though.
Was she out of when she was off to the side?
but I
Was she like out of the peripheral? Like,
I mean, yes, now, yes.
Amongst everybody else, and that's why you didn't ask?
Well, I mean, again, I was already kind of weirded out, so she skipped some steps in there. So when it was an event, when she was like staring very, intensely at me, let's say that, right?
Put off.
It was. She was in there.
Was it giving psycho?
Yes, I mean, but you know what I'm saying. Hey, if she ain't got a little craziness in her, you know what I'm saying. She ain't a good woman. But hey, you know how it goes. You know how the crazy women. You know how it be. I understand.
She was right there for you. You was tripping.
Anyway,
but it's okay.
So I'm like, again, like she mentioned, her friend, you know what I'm saying, Sierra was alright with me as with coworkers. So I was like. She was sitting in the front row too. It wasn't like she was like further back. Like she was sitting in the front row, and I was like, yo, who you know this chick? Like, but she's staying hard. And she was like, oh, her? That's just Moody, right? Which is her maiden name.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, damn, bro, you might as well take some of that stay out and glare off her style. And she was like, oh, she's tripping. She all right, bet. So again, I was already kind of like, okay, cool. She might be a little but all right, bet. So then we go downstairs. And I'm like, all right, I'm talking to the females, right? Yeah. They leave. I'm walking back to my desk and everything. And she was like, well, you didn't ask me my name. And I was like, who you? All right, but okay.
You better know.
All right, right.
That's fine, because you're finna find
So I'm like, okay, bet. Well, what's your name? She was like, well, my name's Vincenta. I was like, oh, not gonna remember that. But all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Look, she was like, and what you say, babe?
I said, oh, yes, you will.
Right, yeah. Same smile, everything. You know what I'm saying? So cool. So I'm like, yeah, that's all right, bet. So I walk back to my desk, go back to my job, stuff like that. We really didn't see each other again for about a couple of months, 3 or 4 months. Yeah. It was actually back the spring semester.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was a good minute. So now I actually seen her in a bookstore. And I seen her coming up the stairs, you know what I'm saying? Some time done passed and she done weirded me out. And I'm like, oh, she
got some sense.
She actually kind of cute, you know what I'm saying? She working with some over there, you know what I'm saying? You a young tenderoni over there, right?
Cute now.
Right. Calm down.
But I'm not going to.
But nah, so I'm like, okay, she kind of straight. So I was talking to my homeboy, about it, Osafo. So if you ever meet them both at the same time, they'll argue like between him and Sierra, who was the one that actually got us together.
Right.
Okay.
Oh.
They even had a speech together at our wedding.
Right.
Oh, that is so cute.
They spoke together at the wedding.
Together.
To say who they say they came together and they helped us get together.
Shoot, how did that go?
Listen, So all right, so I tell you, so basically. With the situation with my homo Asafo, he was like, all right. I told him like, yeah, she kind of straight, bro. So she was downstairs checking out, right? It's a double-decker bookstore. So she downstairs checking out. My homeboy was the cashier, and he was like, yo, yo, my homeboy think you kind of cute. You know what I'm saying? You should give him your number. And she was like, if he want my number, he'll ask. I'm like, okay, all right, bad, bro. You ain't saying nothing.
Oh my God.
So, boom.
Game on.
So, I'm like, all right, bad. So, I slid in her DMs, like, you know what I'm saying? What's up? Hey, it's Tim, the one and only. What? I want to know what your number was. So, she sent me her number back. But, the caveat to her sending me her number back. She was at Tequila Tuesdays, right? It was back in, her young Thunder days.
Party time.
Right. Mm-hmm. So Tequila Tuesdays, and so I hit the number back. She never hit me back.
Right.
So
come on,
bro. What?
Oh, no, I did hit you back. I gave you the wrong number.
Right. So that's what I'm about to say. So 2 weeks, a month later, I run into her girl Sierra. And that's what she was saying, like, all right, so, she wouldn't have met at my event, and I didn't give her the right number. So I'm like, Sierra, she was like, what's going on with you and my girl Moody? I was like, ain't nothing going on. She never hit me back. I hit her up. Yeah. She didn't hit me back. And she was like,
that's a mess.
Let me see the number. She was like,
it was a mess.
How you gonna give him the number and then not text him back?
I did not.
What kind of signals we playing?
So how she gonna text him back?
Right, I gave the wrong number.
Yeah, but her friend corrected. She was like,
complete accident.
Her drunk ass gave you the wrong number. That's what happened. So she gave me the right number. I hit her up. And then she hit me back, and it's been a wrap ever since.
We fixed it.
We've been chilling, chopping it up from them.
Building,
that's how we
growing.
Met. Yep.
And then you asked about how do we stay? I think you said how do we stay?
Oh yeah, that was a double decker question.
Yeah.
And then how did it morph into Epic Legacy? It was actually a triple threat.
Well, I'll say one of the biggest things that really gelled us together was
therapy.
Not just that. Before that was us actually having our daughter.
So
Tamaya. Yes. So Tamaya, she actually, she just graduated in 2014. About a year. We've been together about a year and some change. You know what I'm saying? And
we got hit with adversity, like.
Boom! She found she was, you know what I'm saying? She hit me with the late text. Say I'm late text. Oh
yeah.
Oh, I want to text.
No. I left work. No. Let's be clear. I left work. I was working at the hospital. Man, I left work. I was like, oh, I'm not stressed. Like I'm like, oh, it's stress. Like, just got out of college. Don't really know what I'm finna do for real. And then me and my coworker at the time, we worked at the I said hospital.
Yeah,
we worked at the hotel. Yeah, we worked at the hotel front desk. She was like, let's just get tests and take them. And I'm like, okay, whatever, Yeah. And we took the test. Girl, mine said a plus. I said, wait a minute.
Right.
Who?
Wow.
This broke.
Yeah.
Take it back. Take it back.
Get another one.
Take it back. The baby came out after that.
So I took the
always so funny to get the test results back, and it's not what people think it is. It's like, what? Why?
We were kind of just having
Come
fun.
on.
Like I really did not suspect being pregnant. Like
we was having a little bit too much fun.
Yeah.
Like I told you, she was a young tenderoni walking up the steps. But hey. But anyway.
But yeah.
But I'll say, so boom, so she got pregnant, you know what I'm saying? We adulted up and we just go take care of responsibility. So when we really meshed in jail we was on vacation in Virginia Beach. And I think it when was your birthday? We just took a trip. So we was up there chilling. We was actually revisiting an old spot we went to before she was pregnant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We Spirit of Norfolk and burnt down, hurt my heart. But so we went back. On vacation, she actually prematurely had the baby. So Tamaya was actually born at 23 weeks.
Wow.
So super premature baby. At that time period, she actually stayed at the Ronald McDonald House in Virginia. We stayed in Durham at the time. She stayed at the Ronald McDonald House. And again, shameless plug. I just want to make sure that, Ronald McDonald House get all their props because they do a lot for a family. You feel me? Like, because, that would have been a bigger burden on us to try to find housing for her and everything like that. So at that time period, I'm like, all right, cool. You taking care of the baby, I'm gonna take care of the house. So I went out, got it. I already had a job, but I was working at home front, all that stuff like that, make sure everything was taken care of while she was there. Now, for me on my side, what really brought it home for me, like, yo, this woman really about that, was her actually staying by my daughter's bedside. Or our daughter's bedside, I guess I'm saying mine.
Child, they had to put me out.
Yeah, so
Wow.
like, I mean, again,
Yeah.
I cannot say enough, man. That takes strength to sit there, and your child, you know, the beeping and the booping, the oxygen levels and all stuff like that. I don't know if you ever been in the NICU, but like at
The
any
IVs
time,
going through
Yeah.
their entire body.
at any
Sheesh.
time, your baby can be gone, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? You
Yeah.
just gotta leave it in God's hands.
Yeah.
So, you know, and again, that takes a lot of strength. And she was there every time I'm talking to her, she right there beside my baby. You know what I'm saying? Our baby. And like, you know, own it. So
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, yo, this rock one. So you take care of her. You know what I'm saying? I'll take care of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying?
I still drove up every weekend.
You know, drove up every weekend, check on them, be an emotional support, all that stuff like that.
Yes.
So, and that's what really, I feel like that was one of the biggest moments that jailed us in the beginning,
Yeah.
and really kept us rolling.
And give you a new perspective.
New perspective.
Nice.
All right.
So if I can say something, I just want to say how much I appreciate y'all, especially appreciate you as a man, because the common theme that I'm hearing is support.
Yes.
At the beginning, you supported her and her entrepreneurship before you even thought that that's not something I'm really into right now, but I'm going to support her.
Right.
And then you decide, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and join her with this. So that's another level of support. And then through now, she's pregnant and having a baby prematurely, you're still there supporting her. So I just want to give y'all so much kudos because of that, because that doesn't happen very often, especially in Black families. So I just want to say, you know, kudos, keep that up, definitely. Which is, of course, why y'all been together for 13 years.
To add
Yeah.
on to that,
Yeah.
to add on to that, like the more I hear y'all talk to each other, the more I hear the more I can see the passion you
Absolutely.
guys have for each other.
Yes.
And that's something that a lot of relationships fail at nowadays. There's no passion towards
okay.
your partner. So when I hear you speak and I hear how higher you get when you talk about your wife, I'm like, I respect that about you.
That's my baby, you know what I'm
I
saying?
respect that.
Hey, you know, that's my,
And then you
my dog.
you showing up every weekend, dropping that gas money.
That part.
Listen,
That part.
Because he didn't tell you guys about the fact that my job called me and fired me during that time.
Get out.
What?
My God. And everybody's like, you didn't sue them.
Oh, girl.
One, we were first time parents.
Ooh.
It was so much that fell on us at one time. Like, that was the last thing. We just wanted our daughter to be okay.
Understood.
Yeah.
We were still trying to figure out, like, what is going on? Like, why are we in this position? Like, is she gonna be okay? Like, we were not thinking about that. And yes, it was messed up, but that was just another fuel to the fire of going in the entrepreneurship direction.
Right.
Because it was like, we would never put ourselves in that position again, because if you're going to be bringing children into this world, you don't know how it's going to be.
Right.
And now we've learned that lesson. So yeah.
Wow.
And I'll add, you know, the biggest thing I say about, you know, saying on the Black father situation. And that's one of the biggest things that I am working on, you know, saying not just myself, but a lot of men that I'm around, we changing that narrative of, you know, saying that a lot of Black men are not in families, are not around. Because there are a lot of Black men, a lot of Black strong fathers out there that are really out there supporting their kids, really doing their things and all this stuff like that. And the media will tell us that, you know what I'm saying, again, that's not something that's common. When, you know what I'm saying, again, I've been around plenty of Black men that took care of their family, took care of their responsibilities. And yeah, it may have been a broken home where, you know, they may not been in the home every day, but they took care of their financial responsibilities. They were there.
They didn't skate out.
If their kids needed to make a call, they was right there.
Yeah.
You know, so it may not be the picture, you know, storybook type scenario, but the biggest thing is, you know, I do want to give a props to, you know, my Black men, my Black kings out here that are really going out here. Now there's some busters out here. I ain't no fairy tale story now.
Yeah.
For sure. But it is a lot of Black men out here. It's more Black men taking care of their responsibilities than not. I would definitely say that.
So I guess I would correct myself. It's common, it's just not commonly talked about.
Correct. There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Well, it can't be commonly talked about
It can't
because
be.
I don't like using this word, but the agenda.
It is
There you
the
go.
agenda.
I mean, it is what it is.
Come on.
You got to speak on what
It's
it is.
the agenda.
The agenda is trying to portray a narrative that that the truth cannot be told about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because if that's the case, then the more people that come to acknowledge that, is going to stir the pot, and
Yeah.
they can't stir the
Yeah.
pot counterclockwise. They got to stir it clockwise.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the fact that black men are being present,
Mhm.
just being present,
Mhm.
cuts the cord right then and there.
All day.
And there's more of us doing it than not being there.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Emotionally present, financially present, physically present, mentally present. Which one I miss?
I don't know, bro. You went through about 16.
All the
17.
presents.
All the presents, all the gifts, all the presents. Yeah,
All the presents.
yeah.
They
That's
are doing
awesome.
it. They are doing
It
it.
is very awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah. But again, kudos to y'all.
Appreciate
I
it.
love
Thank you.
this.
Kudos to
Thank
y'all.
you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
definitely.
Thank you.
Can't
So-
say that enough.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Uh-oh.
As to why we're here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So, again, back to Epic Legacy.
Yes.
Tell us what you all do with Epic Legacy.
So we are in the financial services industry.
Yes.
We literally help people set up like financial plans, really structure themselves financially.
Right.
So making sure that they have proper protection, like if something happens to them tomorrow, but also set them up for the future. Making sure they have things in place so they can properly retire, things of that
Right.
nature. And along the way, make sure you have things in there to structure to protect you. So it's full financial planning. Bro. I gotta tell people from the womb to the tomb, we take
Pretty
care of
much.
everything.
nice.
We take care of everything.
A to Z.
Yep. So that's what that looks like. So the biggest thing is, one of the things that we get a chance to do every day is bring financial literacy to everyday ordinary Americans, because that's our target market. Because the biggest thing is, most people today, financial literacy is a buzzword. We may watch a YouTube short here and there or some stuff like that, but nobody really knows what to do.
Yeah.
And it's not at anybody's fault. It's more of, parents that teach you some things of that
Right.
nature, stuff, whatever. So I always tell people, this is why financial literacy is so important.
Right.
So the biggest thing in what we do is we help people set up, get proper protection for today. So that's what life insurance, making sure that you have the proper life insurance, making sure you have what we call income protection.
Yes.
Now, what income protection is making sure you have enough life insurance to protect your income.
Correct.
And what that means is, say for example, you bring in $3,500, you bring in $3,500, and y'all live in the same household. You take that money, that's $7,000, y'all pay all y'all bills with that. Well, let's say if something happened to you, right? I ain't gonna kill you off. Let's say if something happened to you. Sorry, Kyle.
I appreciate that.
Hey, I gotta take it on you.
You can get
So-
a check though.
Say it, but again,
That don't make
this
it better,
real life.
but,
This
you
real
know.
life, right? So say if something happened to Kyle, y'all still got 2 or 3 kids, right? How are you gonna replace his income?
Right.
So you went from $7,000 home to now you only making it $3,500. You got to replace that $3,500, and in most cases, most people can't.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's
So,
true.
and if you are trying, don't you hear those stories about, well, the TV raised me or the streets raised me because my mom was always out working?
Yep.
That's why.
Latchkey kids.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So boom. So then
Yeah.
at that situation, you now with proper life insurance, it gives you a chance to replace him. So even though Kyle, you're not here physically,
Yeah.
he's still here financially for his family.
Okay.
So making sure you have the proper life insurance, right? And when we say proper too, making sure you have the correct type of life insurance. There's so many misconceptions when it comes to, financial literacy on the, whole life, these IULs,
Right.
scam ULs, as I like to call them, trash value, whole life. We basically tell people, buy term and invest the difference. Get you a good term policy, and that's where the investment side come in. Because I tell you one thing with our community is that we're not taught investing. And the
That is
only
true.
way for you to get ahead financially is to invest your money.
Yes.
Still money don't make no money. Still money is dead money.
Yeah.
So,
Especially
you know what I'm
when you
saying?
look at the cash flow quadrant.
Right. So the biggest thing is you got to have that money rolling. So everybody's investing somewhere. One of the biggest things we taught in America is to be consumers. To buy, spend. They take that money and they invest it.
Yes.
So boom. So the biggest thing is we help people invest. We teach them about investing. We help them invest, and you don't have to have like large investments amounts. When you're talking about you coming in, you doing $2,500 stuff like that, we can help people start an investment as low as $25 a month. So that way they can. It's for every ordinary people. So the biggest thing is, so now you investing. By the end of your term, because term is for a temporary time, and that's a big fear for people, because we've been trained to only be a consumer. I need to buy life insurance and have that life insurance the rest of my life. But I'll ask y'all a question, right? You know, I know y'all are interviewers. But if you had $1 million, would you buy a $250,000 policy?
$250,000.
$250,000 policy. Would you buy a $250,000 whole life insurance policy?
If I had what?
If you had $1 million.
If I had $1 million,
Yes.
would I buy one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would?
I would.
Would you need it?
I would say not $250,000. I mean, well, let me take that back. Everybody needs $250,000.
Well, the reason why I said yes because you said I had like what, $1 million?
You got $1 million. You got $1 million in your bank account right now.
Yeah. Would I buy a $250,000 policy?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
I would.
Okay.
Because I started learning about life insurance policy quite earlier back, so I now understand the importance of it. So I was like, yes, I will go buy one. One of the main questions I really wanted to ask you guys was, what do y'all feel is the biggest disconnect when it comes to the families and life insurance as a whole? And speaking more on the demographic side, why do you feel that that disconnect is the way it is?
Mentality.
Definitely.
Mentality is number one. I don't know about you guys, so we're just speaking from our perspective, being in this industry and so also being in our community. You know, and I don't know the statistics, but most of us were not raised with a wealth mindset. Most of us were not raised with an abundance mindset. A lot of us lived in lack. A lot of our parents, grandparents, that was what they were exuding out. They never said it. They never said like you ain't got nothing, or they may have. I don't know. They never said like you don't have nothing, but you know they may have said things like, "Oh, when we go in the store, don't you touch nothing. We can't get nothing," or "We ain't got McDonald's money."
I know all that.
Yeah.
You got,
and even though like
don't look at none, don't
touch
touch
it,
none, don't even think about none.
Yeah.
Smell that.
and you don't realize all those things start getting ingrained in you.
Yeah.
And it manifests into now you're an adult, you know what I'm saying, you're doing like the bare minimum on the finance part.
Yeah.
So it's really just a broken mentality that really just has the disconnect between us and finances, and a lot of us don't really believe that we can be financially free. A lot of us don't believe that we deserve financial freedom. We feel like we gotta work, and more work, and really that's not how you become financially free.
Yeah.
By doing more work. It doesn't equate to that. You just get tired.
It starts there. It starts with the belief.
And I'll say too, misinformation as well.
Yes.
Like we don't have the education. Like you just brought up, man. Like people feel like if I work harder, then I'll make more money. I'll become more financially independent. Instead of if I have the proper information, use the right tools to build, like we call it a financial house. If you have the right tools, then you can put yourself in a situation where, okay, cool, now I can actually get this done.
Right.
And I'll add to what you were saying on the mentality. I think this day and age is two things for people as well. It's selfishness.
Yes.
And it's want to get something for nothing.
Mentality.
Mentality. Like, you know, again, people only think about themselves. Like we've heard so many times, like, if I'm gone, I'm gone. They got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all want to believe the things that people say, and they don't even realize what they're saying. Like, oh, wife be sitting right here. Oh, well, you know, she can just figure it out.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Y'all have 5 kids. Y'all finna lose all of this.
Yeah.
What you mean just figure it out?
Yeah.
And then, like I said,
Just
the other
for
crazy.
your kids? It's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking.
What flipped the switch for me? I had a conversation in the bank one day, and we was on the topic of, you know, prenups, postnups, life insurance, you know, just the whole spiel about that. And what I didn't realize is how much involvement the government has when you have nothing, or when you put in place nothing for the family, or even just for your partner or just for your child.
Yes.
When the government gets their hand in there, it's nothing but chaos.
They're not coming to help.
And the funny part is they don't even want it.
Right.
Yeah.
They want nothing to do with it. When I found out there was this couple who they were married for like a long time, I think like 15 years. I think it was the husband that passed away.
Right.
May he rest in peace. Don't know him though, but may he rest in peace. Come to find out, dude had no will, no life insurance policy. He didn't even have a letter to know where all the stuff goes, and he had millions of dollars in assets. But he had children, and his wife was still alive to this day. Because he had nothing in place, the government had to take all those assets, even though common sense, we just give it to the child or we'll give it to the wife. But the government's like, well, they didn't tell us where we're going to put it, so now we got to go through all the jumps and hurdles to figure out who is the best. Well, in their brain, who will be the best considerate person for it?
It goes towards his estate,
and they don't even ever come up with an answer for that. You will wait like maybe up to 20 years before you can get an answer.
Yeah, because that's like one of the biggest things you brought up is, like I say, structuring your wealth properly.
Yeah.
Because having that will, having the trust, things of that nature. Because if you don't have anything in place to name who your stuff supposed to go to, then again it goes to your estate. When it goes to your estate, you gotta go through a probate type situation where the like you say, the state goes in, they see what money you owed, who you owed, all stuff like that. Everybody get a piece of the pie before your family even gets it.
That's crazy.
And then they can get into, then they find who is your closest relative. Say if you divorced and got a whole nother wife and family and stuff like that, and your ex-wife you didn't have no kids with her, but you got, new kids, it's your actual family that you want your stuff to go to. Well, paperwork can be like, well, she the closest relative. She get all your wealth, cut out your whole new family out, and your wish is not taking in place.
That's crazy.
Whatever.
So
crazy. That's why you
cannot play around with it.
Can't. You really can't.
Well,
you really can't.
Play around with it.
So can I jump back to the question you asked us?
Gotcha,
I hadn't really
please.
didn't answer that. So you said if we had $1 million, would we purchase a term life insurance policy with $250,000?
Or any life insurance policy.
Any life insurance policy. So if I could ask a question before I answer that.
Go ahead, do that.
So explain what is a term life insurance policy.
Cool. So what a term life insurance policy is you're buying a policy for a temporary amount of time.
Right.
So comparing that to like a cash value policy, you pay that policy for the rest of your life.
Right.
Now, when people
Up
hear
until age 100.
to age 100, right? So the biggest thing is with a term policy, everything actually, most insurance policies are in terms. So for example, if you look at housing insurance, saying your phone insurance, your car insurance, they're term policies. So you pay for that time period, and if something happened in that time period, then it actually pays out. So to answer your question, what a term policy is.
So in retrospect, it wouldn't make sense for me to purchase a $250,000 life insurance policy because I'm actually going to be paying more into that policy, and I'm only going to get back $250,000 if something was to happen to me, or if not me get it back from my family, but only get back $250,000 from that. So does it make sense to put that much money into a policy, and I'm consistently paying on that, and that I'm paying way more than that? So it doesn't make sense to do that.
Exactly.
So my answer to that is no. Number one. Number two, term life insurance policy that I'm just going back from some of the things that I know from when I did this previously for a small time frame. That you have a 5-year, a 10-year. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep. 5, 10. You can do annual renewable. You can do year. I mean, you go from a year to our company does 35 years, right? So, saying you got some companies going up to 40, 50.
Okay.
Careful. But, saying the biggest thing is you got terms of whatever the term is, whatever that company actually offered. So you get a long-term term.
Yes.
That makes a lot more sense, because I know my initial answer was yes, but I didn't think about it by terms. I thought about it like, would I just invest in a life insurance policy, which my answer would be yes. But I know because when I said, because I started learning, I did actually start learning. I started learning through my bank about life insurance policy, but I stopped paying it because I didn't quite understand exactly what I was getting into. So I was like, let me cut that. But I was like, now that it's being broken down more, my answer would definitely be no.
And to add to what y'all are saying, the reason why I asked that question that way is because, again, we're been taught to be consumers, right? That's what's been ingrained in our minds.
Yeah.
So all life insurance is buying wealth until you obtain that wealth. Once you obtain that wealth, why do you need to continue to buy something that
you
you can take
already
that
have.
$1 million, structure it, live off of it, and then leave a death benefit? Because the biggest thing with life insurance is if I ain't got the money. Most people ain't got $400,000, $500,000 just laying around if something happens to them to make sure that their family taken care of.
Right.
So I need that insurance in place just in case something happened in that time period. For example, if you had a car, you got car insurance. Why? In case I get into a car accident while I had this car. Once the car gone, what I need this insurance for? Right? Or, you know what I'm saying, the biggest thing is, or once the car is old and, you know what I'm saying, I really don't need it, don't have any value to it anymore. What's the point of me insuring it? I'm gonna get this little bit of liability, you know what I'm saying? I need full coverage, get my little bit of liability and make it boom. So that same thing, you transition that into life insurance. I don't need a $400,000, $500,000 policy. I may just get a policy just enough to bury me. You know what I'm saying? I have the money in place that they'll take care of my family, but I maybe don't want them dipping into that to bury me. So I'll just give me like a little $15,000 policy to bury me. So that way they ain't gotta be worried about that's done. Or the smart thing is just pay your funeral off up front. A lot of people don't even understand that. You get most of your stuff paid off, half off, right? It's like, you know what I'm saying, if you pay up front. The reason it costs funerals cost more on the other end is because, you know, what other choice you got?
Right. I didn't even know that. So I was like,
I mean, go in there telling them like what you have, you're gonna get taxed.
So, absolutely. Real
like,
fast.
What other choice you got? So, and especially for like older clients and stuff like that, a lot of people feel like, again, think about a consumer mentality. The only way I can pay for a funeral is to buy life insurance.
Right.
When it's like you can go to the funeral home of your choice, whatever like that. You know, it's a, you know, and it kind of circle back to kind of what you were saying. Why is it kind of taboo in our community? Because we don't like talking about certain serious things. Like we don't want to talk about death. Like, don't talk about that. You know, you gonna live alone. You gonna live forever.
And you know that always threw me off because the Bible literally says like, a person is a fool if they don't plan for the inevitable.
Right. Yeah.
That's
if
true.
you don't plan for things that you know are going to happen, which we all know, death is not negotiable. It's all going to happen to us at some point.
That's the only thing guaranteed in our life is
life or death.
And you're creating a life here with your loved ones. Why would you not leave something for them?
Yeah.
And so, like I say, you can pay a lot of that stuff off up front. You know what I'm saying? Get, you know, like an average funeral these days costs about $15,000.
Right.
You can pay that off about $7,000. You know what I'm saying? Get that done, and you good. Again, you don't need life insurance. You know, and that's what it comes down to. And that's the point that I always make with people to help them understand and get out of that consumer mindset of I have to pay on life insurance.
How often do you have to explain this to your customers?
Every day.
Every day.
Multiple times a day.
Because like I say, nobody understands.
We're retraining minds.
Right. Yeah.
So we're fighting.
Even sometimes
every day.
when you explain it to people, you gotta go back and explain it again. Because like again, it's reprogramming.
Yes.
Because I've been programmed to do my grandma had this type of policy, my mama had this policy, her mama before her had this policy, and it's always worked. Okay, but then this be the funny part to me, right? Look at the history. How did your great grandma end up financially? Right? How did your grandma end up financially? How did your mama end up financially? How are you financially? Because if you ain't wealthy, obviously they didn't do something right. So why would you follow the same recipe to put yourself in the same situation to pass on generational debt instead of generational wealth? And so, you know, history will tell you the future of what it's supposed to go. Follow the history and look at what it looked like. So that's why it bothers me.
They love to hit us with, well, my grandma said I should have, and I'm like, well, what financial situation is grandma in?
Right.
You know, no disrespect to grandma. She did what she had to do.
Yeah.
I love
But
grandma.
is she where you
That
want
doesn't
to
change
be
what's going on right
financially?
now.
When grandma passed, what did the family have? Did the family throw a fish fry?
Right.
Did the family put up a GoFundMe?
Right.
Or
Which
did
they
she
probably
just
did.
get buried and
Or
then
did she
leave
just
nothing?
get
buried.
buried and that's it?
And life goes on.
House still got a
Wow.
mortgage on it.
Yeah.
Still got debt out here they didn't think about. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff. Like somebody got to come out of pocket for some.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we have to educate about every day, every single day.
Yep.
So another question, and to speak back to, of course, life insurance and term life insurance policies. Now, after getting a policy, and say for instance an emergency comes up, something happens, are you able to borrow against that?
That is a great question.
It is.
So one of the biggest things is, again, we talk about getting the proper type of life insurance, which you say is term is the best. The reason why is because, when you speak about borrowing against a policy, that's a cash value policy. So cash value got several different names, whole life, your IULs, all that stuff like that. So that they have a cash value to it. The biggest thing is, in order to borrow against your policy, you have to have that cash value in place.
Gotcha.
Now, with term, to answer your question quickly, but I'm going to circle back around to it. To answer your question quickly, with term, no, you cannot borrow against your policy.
Okay.
Now, the big thing with cash value policies is this. When people say, okay, cool, I can borrow against my policy, they thinking, I got $100,000 policy. I'm about to cash out. Well, I'm about to borrow against this $100,000. What people don't understand is this. You only can borrow the money that you built in the cash value. The three things that goes with that. The first thing is, that first 2 or 3 years, if you look in your policy, you don't even gain any money in there. You have that what they call surrender value. You may say you got some money in there, but it say you got a surrender value beside it. So the first 3 years, you don't gain any money. After that, that money grows at a very low interest rate. So it's not like you about to be booming. Because you mentioned before, saying I wanted to invest in a life insurance policy because they sell cash value policies as an investment when it's really not. It's a very low bearing investment, you know what I'm saying? Or you got a very low interest rate on it, so your money's not really growing. So then the other part to it is, when you take the money out, whose money is that?
Theirs.
It's theirs.
So why should you have to borrow your own money?
That's theirs.
And then the crazy part is they charge you interest on it. And you're not paying the interest back to you. Don't fall for that. You're paying the interest to the company for lending you your own money.
Ooh, I got a CD.
This is the truth.
Yeah, I ended up purchasing a CD. Like somebody crazy. Somebody taught me to get a CD. And I'm like, okay, I can, I'll get the CD. I can borrow it. It sounded real good.
You was finna live in the stars.
I borrowed against it.
It be like that sometimes.
I'm like, okay, it's my money. I can borrow against it. I got a bill right now.
Tell me you owe.
I owe my money because I borrowed my money from the CD, but it wasn't my CD.
Even to expound on borrowing your own money, right? It got an interest rate to it. So you mentioned you got a bill because you got to pay that money back.
I got to pay it back.
So if you don't pay it back, it start accruing interest.
That's true.
With the big thing about a cash value policy, the other part to it is, if your cash value ever hits zero or go below a certain percentage, they will cancel your life insurance policy. So say if you don't even make the payments, so you just like, man, bump that. Y'all can just take the money out when I die, right? Because that's what's going to happen. When they die, they're going to take the money out that you owe them plus the interest off the top of your life insurance. And then pay your family what's left over. But the biggest thing is, say if you don't pay that money back and the interest just eat away at your cash value, your policy cancels.
It's going to complete.
Yeah.
Like, real life
all that work is gone. All that work is gone.
Everything. And cash value policies are a whole lot more expensive than term policies. So you're paying double or triple the amount. And that's why people think life insurance is so expensive. You can get enough life insurance to cover your family for the cost of a phone bill. Or less.
Wow.
So when I talk to people, I'm like, bro, what's more important? Your phone or your family?
Yeah.
Because you're saying that you can't afford it, but you have a phone, you got the nice shoes, you got the new phone.
Every pair of Jordans that came out.
You got all the Jordans. You know what I'm saying?
Jordan's not cheap.
Ain't ready for that conversation.
I don't even buy Jordans, and I think they're like $230, $250.
Depend on the brand. You know what I'm saying? Depend on what number it is. They got numbers.
They beating each other in the head to get in the store and get these.
Shoes, not even just shoes. Like paying for like hair, nails,
the wigs,
them lace fronts can
get lace front, braids, haircuts, everything. Like the cost of everything gone up.
The cornrow was $175. And then now they break it down to size. You want small cornrows? Okay, that's $225.
Jumbo.
You want jumbo?
Yeah.
Okay, that's $150.
Yeah.
And it just only be the females that you pay big money for, you know what I'm saying, hair.
Yeah.
Dude, they got lace fronts for dudes.
They do got lace fronts.
They zip you up real quick.
How much y'all haircuts cost now?
It got to be about $40, $50.
At least. I just recently found someone who charges $35 for a cut.
Yeah, and he got half a head. And I know you spend like 45. I mean, like,
Russ up. He'll off, you know what I mean?
That's not what I meant.
But yeah, you going there with a George Jefferson, boy. They come back, you laced up and just looking nice, you know what I'm saying? Holler.
They gonna hit you with a little Beijing.
Once y'all finally break this down to like your next potential client, customer, whatever, what's the next step from there?
So the next step from there is actually putting a plan into action. And that's a whole nother hurdle right there. Because like I say, priorities. I in this day and age, I care more about what it looks like on the outside than what it actually is on the inside.
Yeah.
They will look at, okay, I got to make sure that my car good. I'm like, I'm driving a nice car. I'm looking good. I'm driving all stuff like that. Now I got to actually put this policy in place. Yeah, it's $50, but my budget already stretched thin with all the semantics of everything. Like I got to, my what I'm already putting out there.
Yeah.
So now we gotta get the plan in place, right? Then once we get the plan in place, boom, now we look at investing. Because again, if I only help you with a term policy, I'm not doing anything for you. And I think that's why term gets such a bad rap. It's because you got a lot of life insurance agents out here that'll just sell you a term policy and walk away. Don't put you in a situation for you to actually build that wealth. So if you only get the term policy and you don't have the wealth, you're going to need insurance again. So that's why people are like, oh, I don't want them terms. Nah, at the end of that term, I ain't got no more insurance and I need my insurance. So when you teach them, let's invest as well. So you get the life insurance in place. Then you help them with the investments. Make sure they have proper investments. Educate them on interest rates, stuff like that. Again, it kind of goes back to, because a lot of people thinking when it comes to investing on my job into a 401k. Right? Now, the big questions I always ask people, right? Now, let me ask y'all this question. I know y'all the interviewers, I'm interviewing right now, right? So look, you know how much you probably put in your 401k, right? And you know how much your company match. But do you know the average interest rate that your money grows at in your 401k?
Is it 3%?
Most people don't. It's between 3 to 6%. And for most people. So if your money, you got a 3% 401k, you can work your job for the next 30 years, your money will double in one time in your retirement. Say if you're on a higher side of 6%, your money will double in twice.
Wow.
This is why so many people are not able to retire. That's why they retire. They end up having to go back to work.
At Walmart.
Welcome to Walmart. You know what I'm saying?
O'Reilly's.
Smell like being gay, right? They don't want to be that. But, they got to. But it's reality.
It's reality,
It's reality. So teaching them proper investments. Teaching them proper investments, putting their money in the right places so they can get good interest rates. And helping them understand the stock market and, investing. Because it ain't no get rich quick scheme or nothing like that. It ain't like a lottery ticket where you put the money in and it's going to pop out $1 million.
Right.
You got to put money. So, again, that's a whole nother education and getting people to invest in themselves. Because, again, I'll throw money into a car, house, electric bill, Netflix, all the stuff like that. But which one of your bills going to take care of you when it comes time to retire?
Not one of them.
So helping, re-educating them on that aspect of, yo, bro, you got to pay yourself first. So boom, put that money in there for them to actually invest it. And in that time period, now we get you to you building your wealth. And say like from the womb to the tomb. So now we getting closer to its retirement age. We can structure it. And that's why I get to, you got that $1 million, you can structure $1 million for one, you can live off for the rest of your life. You can have a death benefit. You can have securities in place that, your money's go to who you need to go to, all of that stuff.
Right. And
that's the biggest thing. But the hard part is getting past people's mindsets of, this not for me. It's for somebody, again, it's selfishness. I'm not going to be able to enjoy none of this stuff. I'm working hard for nobody, but like, what is it, bro? Somebody got to make a sacrifice. So that's the big thing there. And I mean, we just have to have the knowledge and then have the will to actually get it done.
To take action.
Because if we don't get it done, nothing's going to change. I mean, they talk about the wealth gap all the time. Where it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger by what they say 2035. African American or the black net worth would be negative. Like that's ridiculous.
Wow.
And we $1 trillion consumer every year. We spend $1 trillion in stuff.
Spend the most.
We do.
The black community, if you look on a global scale, the black community, it could be one of, I believe, between the 3rd or 4th richest communities.
Wow.
Well, $1 trillion, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most countries don't even have $1 trillion to their name.
Right.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
And it
That's
just means our
crazy.
money's coming in and it's going out somewhere.
Yeah, so helping people with the full plan, getting their mind right, getting them mentally capable, able to get this stuff done. You know what I'm saying? Getting them with the insurance, the investments, helping them with the wills, helping them with the trust, all of that stuff. But also, too, opening up a situation for them to make extra income. You know, because what we do also, too, is help people start their own business. Like, do somewhat, what do we do?
Yeah.
Or are we talking about starting something? Because you are not going to get financially independent of a job.
Nah,
It's not.
it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Jobs are designed to keep you just over broke.
That's what it stands for. That's what it stands for.
So one more question I have for y'all is understanding, well, giving more of a final clarity for the viewers that especially do have absolutely zero understanding of life insurance, or even find a way to recalibrate how to understand what it is life insurance is and what you guys do. So if you can kind of give them like one of those, if what's the statement, how the statement go, if you ain't learned anything I say, learn this. Can you provide us that with what you guys do?
Most definitely. I would say the biggest thing is, if you didn't take anything from what I said today, is that one, you need to make sure you have life insurance. Make sure you have some term life insurance. Get with a good company, right? You need to do some investing, right? You cannot get ahead financially if you don't invest, and you got to start now. Take action. Life insurance don't happen when you get sick. You ain't get no life insurance. Life insurance ain't for, you know, when you get old. Life insurance is now, because life is now. Everybody know their birthday, but nobody know their death date.
Right.
So make sure you have your life insurance. Make sure you have your investments. The biggest issue that a lot of people have is, well, tell them I can't afford it. You need something outside of a job. Right? So the biggest thing is you need to find some type of side hustle. And I ain't talking about another part-time job or what like that. You need a business or something, you know? And that's one of the biggest things we help people, offer people, is a business opportunity. You know, and again, if it ain't this business, find you some business. The biggest problem with that part is people have the mentality of that I'm just gonna work, give me another part-time job in some way. So one of these jobs gonna pay me enough to live financially, and that's not gonna happen. Find you something in your wheelhouse, work you a business, do something get you some mentorship in that business. And that's one of the biggest things that we help people with. In financial services, you're not gonna know everything walking in the door. We teach people financial services so you can educate the community, you can make a good income off of it, you get one-on-one mentorship, all of that stuff, because a lot of people need directions when it comes to running your own business.
Absolutely.
But the biggest thing is you have to get out your own way of
That part.
I can just work a job, or it's just gonna be easy, or me having a business is I walk in day one, I'm the CEO, I ain't going to where I ain't gotta do nothing. Yo, when you start your own business, it's a grind. Is it overnight? No. You got to do stuff behind the scene, make it work. But it is well worth it.
Something for nothing.
Because what a business will offer you compared to what a job will offer you is a business will offer you freedom. The freedom of time, the freedom of income, the freedom of everything. Freedom to spend time with your family. Really do the things that you really want to do. And again, it's not going to happen overnight. But it's a guarantee on your job that you will never get that freedom.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Love that.
Absolutely.
So speaking of, talking to somebody as far as starting this process, how do the viewers get in contact with you all?
Oh, that's my baby dog Wheelhouse. Go ahead, baby.
You guys can follow us on our socials. Our Facebook pages is Tim Bentu, and that is BENTU. And then my Facebook page is Vincenta Bentu, and that's VINCINTA. Because I know I had to spell that out for my people.
Yes, thank you.
Last name Bentu, BENTU as well. You can also text our office at 919-701-9823. And our
Your Instagram?
Yes.
Okay.
Girl, it's so many socials. So yeah, it's pretty much everything. Honestly, if you put our name in, we are on TikTok, we are on YouTube, we are on Facebook, and we are on Instagram and LinkedIn. But our name is the same on all platforms. We have content on all platforms. So please follow us, and also please text us, or if you want to call us, we will definitely answer and get you set up for sure.
Sounds good. We definitely appreciate you all coming out and talking
Yes,
with us
thank you
today.
so much.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It was great. It was fun.
Entrepreneurship is freedom.
It is. And we thank you guys. Absolutely. I'll be talking to you after this. So, yes. So, again, guys, we just want to thank you for joining us here with Visually Speaking. I am Shauna Fitzgerald, and that is.
I'm Kyle Martin.
And of course, we were here with.
The Bentus, yeah.
Yeah.
Team Epic Legacy. Yes.
And again, that is it. We appreciate you guys. That is a wrap.
Thank you guys for having us.
Bye.